boom, 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 boom. Dum, 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 dum.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Buckle up, baby!
Let's go! Hey! Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living?
And now, Mike's thoughts.
So let me get this straight. Let me fully comprehend what's going on down in Tampa right now. Yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 5-2. One of the best teams in the NFC. Baker Mayfield is out here dragging the squad through injuries to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Bucky Irvin, Jalen McLaren. And now, somehow, Teddy Bridgewater is on the injury report because of his teeth? You cannot make this shit up. The Buccaneers just aren't banged up. They are cursed by the tooth fairy herself. Like, what happened here? Did Teddy Bridgewater take a helmet to the mouth? Did he try to open up a Gatorade bottle with his molars? Are we sure the Buccaneers training room isn't doubled up by a dentist office now? Like, what is going on? It's already insane that the Tampa Bay's entire wide receiver room looks like a waiting line for the ER. But now, backup quarterback is sidelined because of dental damage? Come on, man. This isn't the kind of stuff that happens when your team has been grinding too hard. Or maybe when karma realizes Baker's been playing too well for too long. But let's be real, though. This loss to Detroit wasn't about the injuries. The Bucs looked flat, lifeless, like a team that forgot the Lions actually played better defense now. Baker's knee was clearly bothering him, but he's out there giving everything he's got while the rest of the roster is wrapped up in bubble wrap and floss. At this point, Tampa should just start issuing mouth guards for press conferences. You never know who is next. Maybe the long snapper chips a tooth sneezing. Maybe the kicker bites into a protein bar a little too hard and lands on the IR. Guys, here's the thing. This team is tough. Baker's a warrior. Todd Bowles has them believing, but you can't fight fate when the football guards are this petty. You lose Mike Evans again. You lose a backup quarterback to a tooth injury, and now you're still trying to compete in the league where half the NFC is healthy and hungry? Guys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a heart of a contender, but right now, their bodies are betraying them along with their mouths. So yeah, they'll move on to week 9 to week 8, but maybe they'll just add a dentist to the coaching staff while they're at it. Because apparently, in Tampa, even your smile isn't safe. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation! Rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go! What is up, Man Hour Nation, guys? Welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you're rolling with us today. But before to jump into today's action, guys, head over to manhourradio.com. That's where you find the exclusive merchandise, the freshest of the freshest blogs, and everything happening with the show. If you're rocking the Man Hour, guys, that is the spot to do it. Now, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well so you never miss a live, interactive show. That is the easiest way to stay plugged into us. But if you want the full Man Hour experience, if you want the free entries into our NFL giveaways, if you want bonus live stream coverage, if you want free merchandise, guys, become a Picks and Pundit. That is our members-only community where you get free entry into the NFL weekly pick'ems, giveaways, exclusive merchandise, and of course, bonus live stream that only the Picks and Pundits get. So if you're all about that next level access, join the squad today. Guys, now remember, this is a live interactive show. Drop down your thoughts, your opinions, and your takes down below in the comments. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Old Man River, he says, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about the NBA players getting caught gambling? I'm going to be 100% honest. My man Wes told me about this, I don't know, 1 o'clock this afternoon, maybe noon or so. And I'm gonna be honest with Old Man River. I don't know shit about it. I saw the headlines, something about a mafia. Like, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to make a logical comment about it. But you know what? The NBA's done this before. Wasn't it a referee, Donahue, right? Isn't he still in jail? Actually, he might be out by now. 10 years in the federal pen, bada bing, bada boom. He's back out. He's out there gambling, doing his thing again. But yeah, I don't know enough about it to really speak on it. And then, of course, Old Man River is a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Make sure you get some. Make sure you get some. We got my man Mellow Mike in the chat today. He says Teddy was watching the Tooth Fairy and chomped on a butterscotch too hard. Damn. People called Tony Dorsett soft for missing a playoff game with turf toe. Well, to be fair, if you guys have not watched Letterkenny, you need to. You are 100% missing out. Turf toe sounds like a little baby back bitch injury. Let's just be honest. Turf toe sounds like, oh, I stubbed my toe on the couch. I'm just being a bitch. But the turf toe is like you tear a ligament and you're in the little big foot on the bottom. It's terrible. It sucks. But yeah, Tony Dorsett did miss actually, there's been a lot of people that have been retired from the NFL because of turf toe, right? It's been it is what it is. Electrode Restorations in the chat today. What's up, man? Long time no see. I believe he's a Cowboys fan, if I'm not mistaken. He says, this whole season has been weird. He says, I've got to say one thing. How about them Cowboys, baby? We're going to talk about the Cowboys, Electrode Restorations, because they coming back. They coming back, baby. And Wes says, I need that hat. You ain't getting my Happy Gilmore hat. You ain't not getting my Happy Gilmore hat. Happy is my man. Happy is my man. Although Happy Gilmore 2 is kind of like, meh. Still had TK in it. But guess what, boys? The Dallas Cowboys are back. What did Electro say? How about them Cowboys, baby? How about them Cowboys? And guys, Cowboys Nation, buckle up. Because the rest of the NFC better be on high alert, baby. The Dallas Cowboys are officially heating up. It's not just because of what we saw last week versus Washington Commanders, how they whooped that baby back bitch's ass. It's because help is on the way. And his name is Overshown. Wear number 0 back on the saddle again. That's right, guys. DeMarvion, am I saying that right? DeMarvion Overshown, after 317 long days away from the field, has shown heart, he's shown energy, and the spark of the defense is back as he's been missing it. He has been back on the practice field this week. And guess what? He's eyeing a Monday Night Football return on November 17th against the Las Vegas Raiders. Prime time, bright lights, and the first ever Cowboy to wear number 0, and he said it himself. It's not going to be anything short of extraordinary. That's the type of confidence and the type of hunger that turns a good team like the Dallas Cowboys into a great team like the Dallas Cowboys. Super Bowl favorites, Dallas Cowboys. Put some respect on their freaking name, baby. But let's not forget, before that brutal knee injury a couple seasons ago, Overshown was that dude. In just 13 games last season, he had 95 tackles, 5 sacks, 16 quarterback pressures, a pick 6, and a nonstop sideline-to-sideline energy. That man was the heart and soul of the defense. He just wasn't just a linebacker. He was the soul of the Dallas Cowboys defense. He just wasn't a linebacker. He was the man, the myth, the legend of that Dallas Cowboys defense. He just wasn't a linebacker. He was a Greek god on that Dallas Cowboys defense. And when you add his speed and his aggressive back into this defense that has been shut down the Commanders last week. That's right, they shut down the Washington Commanders. We're talking about a potential top 3 unit in the entire league, baby. Now, when the Cowboys are clicking, the Cowboys are clicking. Let's flip over it to the offense. Dak, CD, George Pickens, that offense, that offensive line is starting to find his rhythm. If that side of the ball keeps on the way they've been going the last few weeks, they keep on keeping on. They bring back Overshown, brings that fire back to the defense. Guys, it is simple. The Dallas Cowboys are top dogs in the NFC, period. No question about it. We have seen this from teams like when they play confidence and swagger. Now imagine them with Overshown flying around, lighting up running backs, and hyping up the sideline. That's the kind of emotional leader that pushes you from a playoff contender to a playoff threat. Now, let's not get crazy. Let's not ignore the rumblings around the NFL world that's happening right now, because the Cowboys have been linked to players like the Max Crosby. The Dallas Cowboys have been linked to Trey Hendrickson. And if Jerry Jones somehow, some ways pulls off one of those moves, forget the NFC. The entire NFL landscape shifts. The defense front would be a nightmare fuel for quarterbacks across the league. Imagine lining up against Max Crosby, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Overshown. That's just not a defensive line. That is a demolition crew. NFC, beware. The Cowboys have been counted out. They've been laughed at. They've been doubted for the last couple of years. But right now, they're getting healthy. They're playing with confidence. And that defense is starting to remind everyone that the Dallas Cowboys football is supposed to look like. Fast, physical, and relentless. So here's the message to the NFC East. Here's the message to the NFC. Be on notice. The Dallas Cowboys are coming, baby. And when Overshown straps on that number 0 jersey back on, it's go time in the Big D. When Overshown straps on that number 0, November 17th on Monday Night Football versus the Las Vegas Raiders, you guarantee it is going to be a shutout. I guarantee it's going to be an ass whooping. I guarantee when Max Crosby and Overshown team up, it is going to go to the moon, baby. Super Bowl champions, the Dallas Cowboys 2026, mark it down. But, Man Hour Nation, question is to you. Putting the ball in your court. When Overshown returns, do you think the Dallas Cowboys become the best team in the NFC? When Overshown returns, does this make the Dallas Cowboys a Super Bowl favorite? When Overshown turns, is the rest of the NFL like, oh shit, what happened to us now? Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments down below. This is a live, interactive show, and I want to hear from you. But remember, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and remember, we are live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/Man Hour. Now, let's get into the comments and discuss your thoughts. Oh, member says, what about a pigskin putting hat? I got you, dog. I got you. We'll get you. Oh, member says he played 2 playoffs games with a broken leg. Is that Tony Dorsett? Cool. That's the dog. So did Terrell Owens. But hey, Terrell Owens was a cancer. He was this, he was that. Get out of here. Electro Restoration says, we can't get Agent Zero back in the ring. He says, I cannot wait to get Agent Zero back on the ring. Listen here, Electro Restorations. As a fellow Cowboys enthusiast myself, we've had our ups and downs. We've had our shaky moments. I broke up with them. They broke up with me. But we have mended each other late last season. This offseason, I was like, things are starting to get a little bumpy between me and the Cowboys yet again. What are you doing this offseason? Like, you're trading my... but you know what? I honestly forgot about Agent Zero. I honestly forgot about Overshown. I honestly forgot about how dominant of a force he actually is. Guys, go back and watch the tape. Go back and watch the tape. This man is arguably a top 5 linebacker in the NFL. Arguably top 5 in the NFL. Stop sleeping on him. But Mellow Mike says Cowboys will be good. When the playoffs arise, they'll be one and done. Same old Cowboys. Mellow Mike, me and you have problems, buddy. Because the Dallas Cowboys are not going to be one and done for a very, very long time. The Dallas Cowboys are going to go out there and they're going to whoop anybody's asses that come into Texas Stadium, AT&T Stadium. Because not only is the NFC East on notice, because they're going to win the NFC East, when they get that number 2 overall seed, maybe number 3 overall seed, whatever. Whether it's number 2 or number 3, when the Green Bay Packers waddle their ass in there, when the Chicago Bears waddle their ass in there, when whatever team else decides to waddle their ass in there, Dak Prescott, Mr. MVP himself, top 5 quarterback in the NFL, is going to put 48 points on those mofos. The defense just has to stop an opponent twice. And Overshown's going to do that alone by himself by a couple pick sixes. There is no way in God's green earth, even though it's brown outside right now, it's green on some part of the country. They are going to go one and done. There ain't no damn way. And Mellow Mike says he got 95 tackles because the running backs were always getting to the second level. Be honest, Bus, he was the best player on that trash defense. No. The reason he was getting 95 tackles is because they was running at Micah Parsons, the weak ass. How do you beat an effective pass rush from Micah Parsons? You run at him. Micah Parsons is one of the worst run defenders in the NFL for a reason. That's why he got 95 tackles. However, when you add a Trey Hendrickson, when you add potentially a Max Crosby, mixed with a little bit of Overshown. Ooh, guys, the trade deadline's coming. It was like November 4th. Then you get Agent Zero back November 17th. It's going to be a great Thanksgiving. It's going to be a great Christmas. It's going to be a great January. It's going to be even a better February in Dallas, Texas. Because they coming. They coming. And Electro Restoration says, Mellow Mike, I hear you. I truly think that our kryptonite will be our defense if they don't show out. And that is 100% facts. The reason it is your kryptonite, meaning the Dallas Cowboys defense is the kryptonite of the Dallas Cowboys, is because the offense is so damn good. When you have the best offense in the NFL, when you have a top 5 quarterback like Dak Prescott, when you have the man, the myth, the legend himself, George Pickens, and then arguably the best receiver in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb, yes, your defense is your kryptonite. Yes, your defense is going to be the weakest point. Yes, your defense is going to be the Dallas Cowboys defense is going to finish top 10 in the NFL this season. Let me repeat the game for the people in the back. The Dallas Cowboys defense from this point on, once Overshown comes back, November 17th on Monday Night Football, they will be the top 10 defense in the entire NFL. Strap-ons. They will strap it on, baby. They're going to strap it on, and they're going to wax whoever ass comes across that field. And old man says, bro, I wish I could get this high. Listen, it's not high, baby. I'm always high on life. This is the real, raw, live, and uncut Buck Nasty that you all been missing for a little while. I try to play both sides of the aisle. Try to keep it down the middle. But you know what? Not anymore, baby. Buck Nasty is back, and I'm about to take some people with me to the moon. Control Alt Delete says, no one is interested in baseball, my guy. Let's talk turkey. Somebody come get your boy. Nobody's interested in baseball, my guy? Man, first things first, baseball is America's pastime. So you need to go check yourself real freaking quick, baby. Secondly, this is Man Hour NFL talk. So where in the hell is baseball and football intertwined in this show? Boom. Maybe a couple years ago when I had my man BC Combs on, that he's slobber knocking on, so baseball. Combs loves himself some baseball. He loves talking about baseball. He eats, dreams, and sleeps like 1,500 games a year of baseball. Me? I get my 80, 90 games into baseball from the Kansas City Royals. Watch like a little bit of Cubs and a little bit of Reds. That's about it. I don't talk about it because I don't know enough about it. Let's talk turkey. I'm a ham guy myself. Turkey makes me sleepy. Turkey's always dry. Turkey's always like, give me some ham, baby. Give me some ham. Mellow Mike says, Cowboys fans / Chiefs fans, my man has more phantoms than Brady has Super Bowl rings. That's Mellow Mike. You need to slow down, baby. The Kansas City Chiefs will forever be my number one team. I've always had a backup team in the Dallas Cowboys. That has not changed since I was a little lad, about 92, 93. I like the Dallas Cowboys because my uncle was a Dallas Cowboys fan. I was like, you know what? I want to be like my Uncle Marty. That's what it is. And then, of course, I got to root for the hometown team, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, if you want somebody that has fandoms across middle manscapes, there's a pigskin pundit out there.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
If you guys are a pigskin pundit or an everydayer like Mellow Mike and Alpha Rob and the rest of West out there, you will know that we have a person in the pigskin pundit group that legit is a fan of 8 teams. This man is a San Francisco 49ers fan. This man is a Kansas City Chiefs fan. This man is a Houston Texans fan. This man is a Dallas Cowboys fan. This man is the Indianapolis Colts fan, Baltimore Ravens, Philadelphia Eagles, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and then the Buffalo Bills. So there's 11 teams. That man's Hoffy. Hoffy is an habitual cocksucker. He sees a nice, big, shiny cock that he wants to suck. He goes, puts that thing right in his mouth and says, baby. That's Hoffy. Dakota is rolling, says George Lucas. Listen, Dakota Prescott is arguably the best quarterback right now in the NFL. He is definitely the league MVP. When you talk about Dak, you have to talk about Baker as well. Baker's been balling out despite a Monday night little collapse, whatever, injured knee, what do you want to call it. Dak Prescott is the reason the Dallas Cowboys are right where they're at. And then come November 17th, Dak Prescott can take the foot off the gas a little bit. Is he going to? Oh, hell no, he's not. Dak Prescott might throw for 6,000 yards this season. He's going to the moon. Things are coming. Maximus says we should add Roquan Smith instead of a pass rusher. Is Roquan Smith available? It's like so I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if Roquan Smith is still in the NFL. Is he? Like, this is a legit question, Maximus, and I'm assuming you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. Welcome to the show. Is Roquan Smith still with the Baltimore Ravens? I have not followed the Baltimore Ravens since the Kansas City Chiefs game. I'm going to be flat out honest about it. Because when you are a losing team, when you're 1-5, your starting quarterback doesn't want to play, and the rest of the teams are like, oh, my mouth hurts, this hurts, my vagina hurts, I got a little sand in my butt crack. Like, the Ravens are done. Is he still playing with them? If so, what kind of value is he? Because, honestly, the last time I saw him play may have been with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, honestly, like the last time I sat there and actually watched him play, I believe it was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then he went back to the Ravens, right? I don't know what his value would be. What would the value for him be? Like, legitimately. That is the question. Mellow Mike says, bro, Zimmer is unemployed because of how bad the defense was. Man's glazing the facts. No. Let's not get it twisted. Zimmer is unemployed because he's an old-ass man. That's number one. Number two, in with the new regime, a.k.a. Brian Schottenheimer. When you are promoted from offensive coordinator or quarterback coach, whatever Brian Schottenheimer was, to head coach, you hear things around the locker rooms, around the coaching office, through text messages and phone calls and whatnot. We know what people are. We know how people think. We know how people this, and this. Zimmer is unemployed because Brian Schottenheimer did not think that he could do the job. Let's just call it what it is. He was also a Mike McCarthy guy. Let's just call a spade a spade. If you want me to glaze the facts, those are the facts. The facts are that Zimmer was not a very good defensive coordinator, correct. However, the Dallas Cowboys are healthy. When Overshown comes back, November 17th on Monday Night Football, let's keep on, let's get that name in here, let's circle that date. It's coming. It's going to be all hell break loose. Bengals have that, says Mellow Mike, and his defense let him down. Playoff separates the boys from the men. Exactly. So when the Dallas Cowboys walk into the NFC playoffs, pounding their chest, sitting at 11-5, this NFL, actually they'll be 11-4-1. I'm sorry. Forgot about the tie. They'll be 11-4-1. Actually, it'll be 11-5-1, right? I do my math right? Yeah, 11-5-1. They're going to be in there pumping their chest. the Eagles were like, oh, hey, Dallas Cowboys, remember week 1? Get out of here, small fly. Pretty fly for a white guy. They gone. That's what's going to happen. Electoral Electricity says, last time I watched baseball and football was when they intertwined with Bo Jackson. That was a long time ago. That was before I was born. I'm going to be honest. What, Bo Jackson played for the Royals back in, 85, 84? I'm 87, baby. I'm an old man now. How old are you? I'm just playing. Just playing.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Mellow Mike says Roquan Smith is hurt. And Maximus says he is a Raven still. He's stuck on that terrible defense. We have tons of depth at defensive end and could greatly succeed with linebacker support. When Overshown comes back, that will definitely help the depth at linebacker. Yes. However, when you have the opportunity to get somebody like Trey Hendrickson or Max Crosby, do you really want to pass that up? Do you really want to pass that up? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Speaking of passing up, guys, you guys know what time it is. Monday Night Football is almost here. Yes, I know Thursday Night Football is happening right now. We got the Vikings taking on the Chargers. I got the game on pause, so don't spoil it. But the Kansas City Chiefs are about to remind everybody exactly who runs the NFL. The Commanders, they're walking into a wrong stadium at the wrong time. Arrowhead Stadium's going to be shaking. Mahomes is going to be rocked in, and let's be real. This one is going to get ugly fast. Guys, simply put, on Monday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs are about to make a statement. The Chiefs are the real deals, guys. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. The Kansas City Chiefs are the real deal. I'm talking about a team that's just not going to try to win games. They're trying to make statements, and they are making statements. And Monday night game against the Washington Commanders, that's the perfect stage. You got Patrick Mahomes playing at an MVP level football yet again. You got Rashid Rice turning into a legitimate wide receiver 1. You got Travis Kelce doing Travis Kelce what does. Unstoppable on third down. Impossible to cover in the red zone. And defensively, Steve Spagnuolo's crew has been eating quarterbacks alive. The pass rush, top 5 in sacks. The secondary, ball hawks. When the Kansas City Chiefs defense plays like this, you're not beating them. You're just hoping the clock runs out before you get embarrassed. But let's talk about the Washington Commanders. Because I keep hearing excuses already. I keep hearing the excuses, the injuries, this, and this. Jayden Daniels is hurt. Terry McLaurin is banged up. Deebo Samuel might not play. Stop it! Next man up, no freaking excuses. Injuries do not change the fact that this team just isn't good enough. We spoke about this last night, guys. The Commanders are just not that team. Marcus Mariota will be starting at quarterback. And yeah, we've seen this show before. Last week, he went 4 for 10 in a pick six to Deron Bland. That's not the guy who's going to go into Arrowhead Stadium and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, defending AFC champions. The Commanders team has been sloppy, inconsistent, and soft. You can blame the injuries all you want, but the truth is, this is what happens when we rely on talent, not toughness. Let me repeat that for the people like on the back. The Commanders are relying on talent, not toughness. Dan Quinn's squad just doesn't have that dog in them. And it shows week after week after week. You lose one guy, your whole team collapses. One guy stubs his toe, your whole team collapses. One guy has a hangnail, the whole team collapses. Meanwhile, in Kansas City, they just keep setting the standard. Mahomes never lost his focus. Andy Reid's offense is evolving each and every week. Though they lose players, they reload, and they still dominate. That's what elite organizations do. Every season, people start saying off, oh, the next big NFC powerhouse, Philly, Detroit, San Francisco, Dallas. But everyone deep down knows that the road still runs through Kansas City. It has for years, and it will continue, and nothing's going to change anytime soon. So the guys' point of the matter is, A Monday Night Football beatdown is loading. Let's call it like it is. This isn't a matchup. This is a mismatch. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to put on a show in front of a national audience. Mahomes is going to go for 300-plus yards. Isaiah Pacheco is going to punch some people in the mouth. Pop, 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 pop. And that's how the Kansas City Chiefs defense? Oh, they're going to make Marcus Mariota's life a living hell. He wished he would have stayed on the sideline. He wished he would have had tooth injury this week. And when it's all said and done, everybody will be reminded that Kansas City Chiefs are still the standard. Just not in the AFC, but across the entire NFL. As for the Commanders, they'll be packing up. They'll be heading back to D.C. and probably realizing what most of us already knew. They're just not that team. But Man Hour Nation, I got this simple question for you tonight. On Monday Night Football, week number 8, when the Washington Football Commanders head over to GEH Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, do you think the Chiefs will dominate Washington? Or do you think the Commanders can somehow, some way keep it close? Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments down below. This is a live, interactive show. I want to hear from you. Subscribe, hit the like button, and remember, we're live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Oh, man, Rivers, that's...
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Guys, be like Old Man River. Get in the comments and talk your shit, but you can do it respectively like Old Man River does by becoming a Pigskin pundit. He says, what's that splurge coming out of your mouth? It's factual comments that are coming to your ear holes, Old Man River. These are factual statements that the Kansas City Chiefs are the cream of the crop. It's a factual statements coming to your ear holes that the Washington Commanders suck. Where's my man Jeter? Wes, go out there and get Jeter. Clip this. Say tune in now at 9:36 East Coast time. The Washington Commanders are dog cunts. They're booty. They're the chocolate starfish. They are the catfish. They're terrible. Mellow Mike says, here we go. Bragging about the Kansas City Chiefs going to beat the Commanders without Jayden Daniels. Roll the eye emoji. Mellow Mike is a Houston Texans fan, guys, so give him a break. Give Mellow Mike a break because as a Houston Texans fan, he doesn't know what good football is. As a Houston Texans fan, he understands that, hey, just being good enough to showing up to the field and getting blown out by 40 is good enough in their opinion. Cheating their way into victories is just good enough in their opinion. The Houston Texans want to play weaker competition so they can pad the stats a little bit. Like, hey, look at us. We made the playoffs, baby. The point of the matter is the Washington Commanders have this built-in excuse. No Jayden Daniels. Well, guess what? He's been out all week. They listed him out for this game back on Tuesday. You've had Wednesday, you have Thursday, you have Friday, you have Saturday. You have 4 days of practice with a former top NFL draft pick, with a quarterback that's played in the system for 3 years now, with the quarterback that's played the last couple weeks. So don't act like, oh, it's just a backup quarter. I mean, it's not like he's coming straight off the street like Joe Flacco a couple years ago. Next man up mentality. If this was the Detroit Lions, if this was the San Francisco 49ers, if this was the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, next man up, next man up, next man up, it doesn't matter. Now, obviously, I'm not that dumb to say the Commanders will be up here with Jayden Daniels and then down here with Marcus Mariota. There's no question about that. However, I'm tired of all these excuses. They don't have this guy. They don't have that guy. They don't have this. The Kansas City Chiefs did not have Rashid Rice, their number one receiver. They did not have Xavier Worthy, their number two receiver. They had Juju Smith-Schuster that should be in a retirement home at this time, and Thornton, the guy that's a castaway from the New England Patriots, as their number one and number two receivers. The dynasty's dead. The Chiefs suck this. But you know what? The Chiefs kept on, baby. And now they are the best team in the NFL yet again. So don't give me none of this. Oh, you're going to beat the Commanders without Jayden Daniels. Shut up. Not only are we going to beat the Commanders, we're going to dominate that ass. And old man River says, I'm going to laugh my ass off if Washington wins. Well, old man River, put the money where your mouth is. Since you're a pigskin pundit, go over to our Facebook page.com. Go to facebook.com/man-hour NFL talk. We have game picks. You can get on your entry and you can pick the Washington Commanders to beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football for your chance to win some $1 bill show. Free entry gets you, if you win, you get free entry into the next week to get some $1 bill show. You can pay $2. You get yourself some $1 bill show like Leo. Leo's run like 3 weeks in 3 weeks in a row. That man's got some $1 bill show. Just saying. Mellow Mike says, Buck was making excuses about Rashid Rice being suspended, Xavier Worthy running into Kelsey and getting injured. This man has short-term memory loss. No. Pause. I did not make any excuses for the Kansas City Chiefs at all this season. I did say they were going to start slow. You are 100% correct. I did say that they were going to start 2-4. They started off 3-3. I was a little wrong on that one. They did a little bit better than I thought they would. But never once would I have an excuse for Rashid Rice or Xavier Worthy or Travis Kelsey dropping passes. They run their course. They had the next man up mentality. Yes, they were battling in those games. Yes, they only lost one score to the LA Chargers at the time, their best team in the NFL. Yes, they only lost one score to the Philadelphia Eagles, arguably one of the best teams in the NFC at that given time. But come on. Yes, they did lose one score to the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday Night Football. At the time, the Jacksonville Jaguars playing damn good football. I don't have short-term memory loss or selective memory. Everything's locked up in there. Just because you guys don't know how to incorporate it, just because you guys don't understand that the man, the myth, the legend that sits in front of you on your cell phones, on your TV, knows what the hell he's talking about. Just because I'm not on a 4-letter network, but shut up. Quiet down, baby. Amon says, this man is live streaming in his wet dreams. No, honestly, a wet dream for me, I want to be honest. A wet dream for me would be for the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings both to go undefeated for the rest of the season, and then they're one and done in the playoffs again. So I can troll every Minnesota Vikings fan out there yet again, troll every single Detroit Lions fan out there again, and they come at my heads over and over and over and over again. Because you guys remember last year, right? Let's fly back to last year. I said the Minnesota Vikings are going to be one and done. I said the Detroit Lions are going to be 1-1. What the? You're crazy, Buck. You're stupid. You don't know ball. You don't know ball. The minute they lost, I come back on here and say, hey, where you at, haters? Nobody showed up. That would be my wet dream. Electro Restoration says, I have no doubts the Chiefs will win. But the real question is, can the Commanders keep it somewhat close? No. No. Main reason is because the Commanders' defense is old as balls. Every person on that Commanders' defense has gray in their beard. That's not a good look. When black guys get gray in their beard, you know they old. And they all got gray in their beards. They old. Marshawn Lattimore is getting ran over like a $2 whore. Bobby Wagner, non-existent. Von freaking Miller, baby. Oh, he's had quality snaps. The man plays 6 snaps a game. They better be freaking quality because that's all he's getting. The Commanders are terrible. Defense is terrible. Bella Mike says Marcus Mariota was trash throwing that pick 6 last week to Bland. There's a reason why he is called a bust. I don't think Marcus Mariota is a bust. If he truly was a bust label, if you truly put the bust label on Marcus Mariota, he would not be in the NFL, I think. Can we all kind of agree on that? Can we find some common ground? Because when you are a bust, like Jamarcus Russell, Las Vegas, matter of fact, Old Man River, come back into the chat. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but I want you to list me all of the Raiders quarterbacks in the last 10 years, and we'll have a list of busts there. Are they in the NFL now? Because we know pretty much every quarterback that the Las Vegas Raiders draft is going to be a bust. Let's just be honest. But obviously, besides Derek Carr, but everybody else is a bust. I don't think Marcus Mariota is a bust. Otherwise, he still wouldn't be in the NFL. Electro Restorations said that if Mariota gives another pick on silver platter to the Chiefs, Buck will be a happy, happy man. You know what? I hope he gifts a nice pick 6 right in the old breastbasket to, I don't know, let's say Chris Jones. And I hope Chris Jones, the ball hits him right in the hands, and Chris Jones is looking this way because he's taking the play off, and he fumbles it. That is what I hope. And then I hope Marcus Mariota does it one more time, hits him right there in the breadbasket one more time, and Chris Jones taking another playoff because, as you guys know, Chris Jones takes every other playoff. Hits him right in the breadbasket, and it's going to be meme city. It's going to be meme city. And Old Man Rivers says, "Let me be simple. Let me clear my throat," because Old Man Rivers a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
He says Arch Manning in Vegas in 2026. Old Man River, let me tell you a little something about Arch Manning. Me and my man Wes are going to the Kentucky Wildcats versus Tennessee game on Saturday night. I watched Kentucky football for the first time all season last weekend. Wes was over at the house. We were watching some film to get ready for this Friday's game, and we turned on the Kentucky game, and they were playing the Texas Longhorns. First time Texas has been to Lexington, Kentucky, I think ever, right? Arch Manning threw for like 130 yards. Kentucky's not very good. Matter of fact, Kentucky is hot dog water. I believe Mellow Mike says hot summer trash. Arch Manning is not very good. There's a lot of hype around Arch Manning. There's a lot of excitement because of his name, because of last year when he came in for relief a couple times. But Arch Manning's not that good. Arch Manning is not going to come out in this year's draft for one, because I don't think he can he? But yeah, he's not very good. Watch the tape. Arch Manning is not that good. Now, maybe he goes to a team and is able to learn behind a veteran quarterback. Maybe he's able to go to the trying to think of a good veteran quarterback that's kind of like on his last leg a little bit. Maybe he can go to the Dallas Cowboys and learn from Dak for a couple 4 or 5 years. And then he can come in and do like a Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, that type of thing. But yeah, he is like, I'm going to be honest. Arch Manning is not going to be the first quarterback off of the board. If he's, I don't even know if he's draft eligible this year. I don't think he is. But he's just not good. And Electro Restoration says, oh, okay, hear me out. Arch will go with the Titans. Wouldn't that be the most Titans thing ever? Hey, let's draft 3 quarterbacks 3 years in a row. We'll draft Will Levis, then we'll draft Cam Ward, and then we'll draft old Arch Manning. Mellow Mike says, clear your ears, Wise. B-U-S-T. Bust. Arch Manning. Maximus says Vegas should go get Carson Beck in the late rounds to rewrite him with Brock Bowers. If we want to talk too early draft picks, Carson Beck is a pretty good quarterback. He was balling until he played Louisville last Friday night, right? He had, 4 interceptions? Wes, correct me if I'm wrong. Those are your Louisville Cardinals. You sent us the highlights. You watched the highlights. Is Carson Beck any good? Is Carson Beck the man, the myth, the legend? I'm just curious. Mellow Mike says Mariota lost his job to Ryan Tannehill, went to Atlanta, had a mental breakdown, wound up on the back of a milk carton, and get signed by Washington because he's the oldest quarterback available. True. Maximus says, why do you skip all of my comments? I don't skip all your comments, do I? So, Maximus, it looks like you're on the shorts form because on my chat it looks like you got the little S on it. So if you go over to the main screen, I got quite a bit of comments to get through. So I don't try to skip anybody's comments. I try to address everybody. Mellow Mike says Arch goes to L.A. and they're hair to Stafford. McVay works his magic. Okay, so that would be a perfect example, right? I was trying to think of a aging veteran quarterback, and obviously Matthew Stafford is that older aging veteran quarterback. Well, he's 36 years old, 37 years old, maybe a couple years left in the tank, sent behind Matthew Stafford for a couple seasons, bada bing, bada boom. There you go, right? So for Arch Manning to be successful in the NFL, that, like, me personally, that is what I think he is going to have to do. He is going to have to go to a team and learn the ropes. And if you look at if my mind serves me correctly, the Rams only have Jimmy G and Stetson Bennett, right? So obviously 2 not so great backup quarterbacks. So that would be a great draft pick if they would draft him, right? Electro says, I rebuke that. Art shall not come to my Cowboys team. We have a glorious Joe Milton experience. I forgot about Joe Milton. III. He was supposed to take over Dak Prescott's job this year, right? Wasn't that all the rage? But yeah, you guys are right. Mellow Mike says, didn't Cleveland trade for Pickett? Drafted Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders and signed Flacco and then traded him. Yes. But also look at your second word of that comment there, Mellow Mike. Cleveland. That shows you everything that you need to know. Cleveland. Once you say Cleveland, all bets are off. No rhyme or reason in what they do. They can run power toss 12 times in a row and get stuffed 12 times in a row. Run it again. Why aren't you guys doing it right? Block the damn ball! Electro says, Mike, meaning Mellow Mike, Cleveland just throwing stuff out to the wall and hopefully something works. Throwing that spaghetti at the wall. Power toss right. Damn it, Lion, it's your fault. It's not the fact that I have not watched film and I know they're going to stack the box on us and they're going to stop the power toss, but damn it, do it right. Spaghetti. Stick at that thing. West says he would be apparent. He would be apparently. He said his wide receiver didn't run the right routes. That's why he threw so many picks. Meaning the Miami quarterback. What's his name? Carson Beck. Howard, the duck of the GM in Cleveland. Not wrong. Massman says Jerry Jeudy got to be saved and get out of Cleveland. Old Man River, that is your guy. Guys, let's flash back to the month of, I don't know, was it May or June? Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Old Man River picks him on himself.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Old Man River, guys, is the CEO of the Pigskin Pun. So if you want to be like Old Man River, hit that membership tab down below. But Old Man River comes at me, comes at my throat. He says, boy, I'll tell you what. I said, what? Because we talking about top 10 receivers in the NFL. We're saying JJ, we're saying CD, we're saying Chase, like we're naming the top 10 receivers in the NFL. Jerry Jeudy's name does not come across the list. Matter of fact, I had Jerry Jeudy like at number 15, number 16, right? He's like, he is good, but he's not great, but he's not bad. He's just right there in the middle, right? And Old Man River says, boy, I say, what? He says, Jerry Jeudy's a top 10 receiver in the NFL. I'm like, not at Cleveland, he's not. Who's going to throw him the ball? It doesn't matter. It does matter. Who's going to throw him the ball? Jerry Jeudy's not a top 10 receiver. If he goes to any other team, he's not the number one guy. And here we are. Speaking of milk cartons, missing people alert. Where's Jerry Jeudy? Old Man River, speak up for yourself. Try to defend yourself. Jerry Jeudy's a top 10 quarterback or wide receiver block. Damn right he is. He's not even top 10 on his own team right now. He has 257 yards on the season on 22 catches. Those aren't top 10 numbers. Those are not even top 20 numbers. Matter of fact, those are not even top 30 numbers in the NFL. I had to scroll down to page 2 to see Jerry Jeudy's name. Jerry Jeudy, 100% needs to get saved down to Cleveland. Jerry Jeudy needs to go to Miami where he has the best quarterback in the NFL and Tua throwing him the ball. Or sorry, what was it? The most accurate quarterback in the NFL throwing him the ball. I kid. But yes, Jerry Jeudy. Matter of fact, anybody with the pulse. Sorry, James Frank. I know Cleveland Browns are your dogs. They're your boys. You wear that alpha jersey with pride. I get it. But anybody with the pulse in Cleveland needs to get out of town now. Myles Garrett, Jerry Jeudy, Junkins, Njoku, anybody that's worth the damn, trade them, totally rebuild. So in 2030, you might have a relevant team. But then Max was like, whoa, slow it down, baby. Jerry Jeudy is a top 10 receiver in the NFL. He arguably is the best route runner in the NFL. Just not meshing with a bad Dylan Gabriel. Maximus, you and Old Man River just became BFFs. So Maximus, be sure you hit the subscribe button because we're not live this Friday because I got a football game still to coach. But next Monday, when the Cleveland Browns get beat down yet again, when the Cleveland Browns decide like, we don't know what to do with our hands, man. When they play the New England Patriots at 1 p.m. on Fox Sports Network, and Jerry Jeudy has 0 catches for 0 yards, for 0 touchdowns, rushes for a negative 12 yards, then we'll understand that Jerry Jeudy's not a top 10 receiver in the NFL. Then we'll understand it's not Dylan Gabriel. Then we'll understand that Jerry Jeudy he can run the best routes all he wants. But if you're not fast and you can't get open, I don't care how good your routes are, like they're still not great. Get out of here. Mellow Mike says, you thinking Aaron Rodgers watches this on a ayahuasca trip? I don't know. That would be awesome. That would be freaking awesome. But you know what else is freaking awesome? Baker freaking Mayfield. Guys, Baker Mayfield is simply built different. Guys, let's talk about this one man who refuses to quit, who refuses to fold, and refuses to let critics write his story. It's Baker freaking Mayfield is proving once again that he is him. You can talk about injuries, you can talk about adversity, but when it comes to leadership, grip, and pure quarterback play, Baker Mayfield is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. And honestly, he's playing like an MVP frontrunner right now. Guys, let's keep it real. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are beat up. Mike Evans, broken collarbone on injury reserve. Not hurt leg, Shay, but broken collarbone. Chris Godwin is still out with a broken leg from last season. Bucky Irving has foot, shoulder, toe, hamstring injuries. He's just hurt all over. Hassan Reddick is on the defensive side of the ball. He is down for a bit as well. But you know what? Who hasn't gone down? Baker's fire. When everything around him starts breaking, Baker Mayfield still finds a way to win football games. That's what elite quarterbacks do. They elevate everyone else. He's got backups playing key snaps, practice squad receivers running routes, and still Baker Mayfield is out there reading differences, delivering darts, and keeping Tampa Bay right in the thick of the NFC race. Now, the next man up is Baker mentality, right? Todd Bowles, I'm out of bowel movement. Todd Bowles said it himself. He's going to be tough and go for some of these injuries, but that's not going to slow Baker down. He's been through worse. He's been through Cleveland. He was the Cleveland Browns quarterback, led them to the playoffs, and they released him. They cut him. Cleveland didn't break him. Carolina didn't break him. The Los Angeles Rams didn't break him. And now Tampa Bay Buccaneers injuries won't do it either. This dude's been doubted his whole career. He's too short. He's too cocky. He's too loud. But guess what? He's got a heart of a lion. When Baker speaks, the team listens. That's leadership. That is MVP material. Look, it's going to take a few weeks for the Buccaneers offense to adjust. Losing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin still out, that hurts. But if there's one quarterback in the league that's going to thrive through this chaos, it's Baker Mayfield. This guy doesn't need everything to be perfect. He creates opportunities. He's the kind of quarterback who turns no names into playmakers. He's been doing it all year long. He's extending plays. He's taking hits. He's making throws only a handful of quarterbacks in the league can make. Baker Mayfield is the definition of resilient. When pressure comes, he doesn't flinch. He responds. That's what separates him from the pack. Guys, stop underestimating Baker Mayfield. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. Stop underestimating Baker Mayfield. He is no longer just a feel-good story. He's not a comeback gimmick. He is a legitimate NFL quarterback playing elite football on a roster that's hanging on by duct tape. And yet, Tampa Bay keeps finding ways to win. Why? Because of number 6. Because of Baker. He's proving week after week that he can carry this franchise. When the stars are sidelined, he steps up and performs even better. So when you talk about MVP candidates, you better start including Baker Mayfield week after week after week. Matter of fact, you should start the conversation with his name each and every time. Because that's what we're doing is because of what he's doing on this depleted roster isn't just impressive, it's special. Guys, and the Buccaneers are not going anywhere. Let's not get it twisted. The Buccaneers are still a playoff team. Yes, they got embarrassed on Monday Night Football. But guess what? They still got grit. They got coaching. And most importantly, they got a quarterback who refuses to back down. Once those receivers get healthy, once Chris Godwin gets back on the field and finds his rhythm again, this team is going to be dangerous. And if Baker Mayfield keeps playing like this, the NFC better be on notice because the Buccaneers are still coming. But man, our nation, this question is for you. Is Baker Mayfield officially a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now? And is he your pick for the MVP? Drop your takes in the chat below. This is a live interactive show. I want to hear from you. Guys, subscribe. Hit the like button. Remember, we are live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right now, youtube.com/Man Hour. So let's get into the comments and discuss your thoughts. Reese is in the chat. What's up, Reese? He says this NFL season is already so crazy with team records behind in the fourth quarter wins. So glad football is back, he says. So glad football is back. Listen, football is back, and I love it. Going into week 8, nearly halfway through the season, it just keeps better and better and better. And when teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when teams like the Carolina Panthers, let's throw them out there, teams like the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys and the Chiefs are all really, really good teams, this makes it fun to watch. When teams like the Panthers are beating up on superior teams. When teams like the Kansas City Chiefs are dominating their Las Vegas Raiders. When teams like the San Francisco 49ers that are decimated with injuries continue to be the best team in the NFC West. Any given Sunday, that is why we love football, and that's why I love Baker Mayfield, because literally any given Sunday, he can lead you back from 30 down to 6 down, whatever. It is what it is what it is. Slamming Jamie Joe says Vice going to need a trade for a quarterback. Wentz being held up by duct tape right now. Do not spoil the game for me, Slamming Jamie Joe. Do not spoil the game for me. I got it right here on the old wall. I got it on pause. First quarter still. 7-0. Do not ruin it for me. But J.J. McCarthy will be back next week. Should be, right? Maximus says, Baker not like that. Any QB who plays with the most stacked receiver core in the NFL history is putting up the same numbers. Baker and any quarterback in the league would be as successful in Tampa's offense. Whoa, slow it down, baby. What about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver core screams stacked? Is it a injury-prone Mike Evans? He gets hurt every year. Chris Godwin was not on the roster. He's still hurt from last season. They have a great rookie, Ibuke. Am I saying this right? Ibuke. He's coming out and balling out. But besides that, who is on that Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster? Most stacked receiver core in the NFL? Slow it down, baby. You want to talk about the most stacked receiver core in the NFL? You got to go to the Minnesota Vikings. You got to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. You got to go to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm not saying the Chris Godwin and Mike Evans duo is not a bad match, but guess what? They have not been healthy on the field together for a very, very long time, for more than a couple games. Chris Godwin is arguably your veteran, or is your veteran receiver on the roster right now. He's still out. Then you got Tez Johnson. That screams elite to me. You got Ryan Miller, top 5 receiver in the NFL, baby. Cameron Johnson. Whoa, slow it down, baby. The truth of the matter is, right now, when you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers injury report, they have 4 healthy receivers. Tez Johnson, Ryan Miller, Sterling Shepard, Cameron Johnson. Name one of those receivers that scream elite. I'll wait. Sterling Shepard, the old head, the old head from the old New York Giants from 2015, 2016. Yeah, that's Sterling Shepard. He is elite. Come on, man. The Buccaneers receiver core is not elite. Mellow Mike says Buck was slurping on the creamsicle and got his beard colored for free. Listen, I'm getting, when we talked about those Washington Commanders beards, I'm getting a little gray right there. Wes has been in there picking out my gray and oh, that's a keeper. But yeah, can we all agree that the creamsicle jerseys are the best jerseys ever? And the NFL on Monday Night Football, I believe Shay said it, missed out. They should have the Lions should have wore their black jerseys, which those are very, very nice. And then the Buccaneers should have wore their orange creamsicle jerseys. Perfect Halloween matchup. That would have been nice. Ever played Chivalry 2? Nope. Isn't Chivalry opening doors for girls and shit? Nope. Fuck those blitties. Slamming Jamie Joe says Rams put back on his feet, far from breaking him. Meaning Carson Wentz, I'm assuming. Reese says Baker is a baller. He finally found a team willing to support him and back him. Exactly. Every time we talk about Baker Mayfield, James Frank pops up into the chat. He still haunts himself because, so if you guys do not know, James Frank is also a pigskin pundit, and he is a Cleveland Browns fan. And every time we speak about Baker, he is still he gets worked up and he leaves and he shuts off the stream every time. But yeah, Mellow Mike says we don't play with joysticks around here, Gooner. What? Oh, I meant the game Chivalry. I don't know what Chivalry is too. I'm still on Vice City. Mellow Mike says Baker, TD maker. He's a dog. He is. He's a dog. Mellow Mike says, I hate to say this because I hate the Colts, but Jonathan Taylor is going to be the MVP. Let me repeat that. He says, I hate to say this because I hate the Colts, but Jonathan Taylor is going to win the MVP. At football practice yesterday or a couple of days ago, myself and Montana, our offensive line coach, actually kind of had this conversation. And he said, I'm going to be honest, Jonathan Taylor is the MVP. And I said, the reason that he's not the MVP front runner is not only because he's a running back, it's because he's on the Indianapolis Colts. If Jonathan Taylor was playing on any other team, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Texans, the Panthers, the Patriots, the Buffalo Bills, any other team besides the Indianapolis Colts, he would be leading the MVP race. But the problem is he's not even the MVP on his team right now because it's going to go to Daniel Jones. Because when you talk about MVP, it's the quarterback on the best team. And argument is going to say, Where would the Colts be without Daniel Jones? Because they were not with Anthony Richardson last season or the year before that. It's just, it is what it is. Unfortunately, Jonathan Taylor should be the MVP frontrunner. And I agree with you, Mellow Mike. He is balling out. I think he's on pace for like 2,200 yards or something crazy like this season. He is healthy. He's running downhill, and he's running angry. The devil's advocate here is where would the Colts be without Jonathan Taylor? Absolutely correct. I think he should be the MVP frontrunner. He's definitely in that conversation, right? He's definitely in that top 5. But when you look at MVPs right now, you got to throw Dak out there. You got to throw Baker. I would even throw Mac Jones out there. Let's just be honest. And then Jared Goff, and then Jonathan Taylor / Daniel Jones. They're probably going to cancel each other out. It just sucks. Slamming. Sammy Joe says he might be number 5, bare minimum, but at least 8th. Anyone saying he isn't is wrong. Meaning Baker Mayfield as a top 5 quarterback, bare minimum number 8. When I look at quarterbacks right now, Slam and Sammy Joe, obviously the best quarterback in the NFL right now is Patrick Mahomes. He's the end-all, be-all. He is the gold standard. And you got to throw in Josh Allen at number 2. And then you got Dak Prescott. And then I'm going to say you got Baker Mayfield sitting at number 4. And then it's a toss-up between Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff. Those are my top 5/6. Then you go down a little bit more, a little bit further down the list. You got Tua. I'm kidding. No, I would actually throw Aaron Rodgers up there. Aaron Rodgers is definitely performing right now up at the top 5. Mellow Mike says the Panthers beat the Cowboys. Jaguars beat the Chiefs. Panthers and Jaguars. Watch out, baby. Maximus says, for the Buccaneers wide receiver core, got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Tej Johnson, Ibuka, am I saying that right? And Jalen Macklin. Macklin's injured. Godwin's injured. Evans is injured. Hell, actually, Ibuka, am I saying that right? Ibuka. I'm terrible with names. Ibuka, he's injured as well. He's questionable for this week. Reese says, just wait till my Niners can possibly find this health potion. Reese, I spoke about the 49ers Monday or Tuesday. I said on Facebook on Sunday, I said, I need to stop sleeping on the San Francisco 49ers. They are the real deal. And I actually got hate about that. They're always good. Listen, the reason why I've been sleeping on the 49ers is because I thought Brock Purdy was the end-all, be-all. I was buying into your all's hype. You paid the man millions upon millions of dollars, and then all of a sudden, he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands anymore. He's hurt. Turf toe, shoulder, hamstring, quad. I think his head's falling off. He's hurt. The 49ers as a whole is hurt. Brandon Ayuk still out. George Kittle just came back. CMC is the only healthy player. She better knock on wood for that one because that man gets injured all the freaking time. But you are 100% correct. Kyle Shanahan has a perfect system. Perfect next man up system. However, how long can you play on this bare bones? Losing Fred Warner sucks. Losing Bosa, back in week 2, week 3 sucks. It's going to catch up to you at some point. Now, obviously, having George Kittle back is amazing. We saw that on Monday night or Sunday night. Where did that play? Sunday, right? Having George Kittle back was huge. But you know what? It is what it is. Oh, man. River says Baker is a beast. I agree. Slam and Sammy Joe says, yes, those are the greatest jerseys. Bucks won't trade those for any opponents. Meaning the creamsicles. I do like that. Reese says the Cowboys jerseys suck, just like them. Bucks cycles are classic. Pause. Reese is obviously a 49ers fan. And I respect 49ers fans. I respect that you guys have great regular seasons and then sizzled out toward the end. It takes a very special person to live through all those injuries years after year after year. I'm just totally kidding. But you cannot tell me that the classic Dallas Cowboys jerseys with the stars on the shoulders are not classic, iconic jerseys. Those are awesome. Those are awesome. Come on now. Electro Registration says, I will say Jonathan Taylor will get snugged for the MVP this season. He will because he is a running back. And Daniel Jones. If somebody from the Colts gets the MVP, it's going to be Daniel Jones. Let's just call it how it is. Mellow Mike says the retro Red Falcons, Orange Crush Broncos are all classics. The Broncos jerseys, when they have the like the lighter blue and that bright orange, those are very, very nice too. I did like the Falcons Reds. Was it Monday Night Football that they wore? That was a couple weeks ago. Those were pretty nice. Those are pretty nice. Pretty nice. The Cowboys uniforms, home and away, are easily the best of all time. I agree. Nice classic white, silver pants. Now, if you go to the throwback, the start on the jersey, on the shoulder pads, come on. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. But you know what else is very, very nice? Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham is back, baby! But why? Why is the man back? Because the Philadelphia Eagles, or as I call them this week, the Desperate Birds, welcome back Brandon Graham. Come back from retirement. Because when your season gets so bad that you're calling up a 37-year-old retired defensive end to come save it, you know things are falling apart in Philly. Guys, Brandon Graham is officially back from retirement, but why? Why is he coming back? The Eagles are supposed to be great. The Eagles have the best defense in the NFL. The Eagles going back-to-back Super Bowl champions. That's just start now. Guys, the big news is that Brandon Graham is coming out of retirement to play his 16th NFL season with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, look, I respect the man. The dude's had a great career. Super Bowl champion, made a clutch play against Tom Brady years ago, but come on. This isn't 2028 or 2028 anymore. You're not getting a strip sack Brady Graham. You are getting, my golf game was getting good, but now this shit is over, Graham. That's not motivation. That's a midlife crisis energy. And guys, let's just be honest here. How bad does your defense have to be that you're begging for a retired NFL player to come back and play on your team? The Eagles defense has been leaking yards like a Brosen faucet all season long. They left Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith's hurt, Darius Smith, little retired last week, and now Vic Fangio is out here lighting candles, hoping that Graham's got a little juice left. This ain't a 5-hour energy situation. It's a 5-year rebuild situation. They're calling it an opportunity off a lifetime. Yeah, for opposing quarterbacks, maybe. You've got a good team. And now Graham said when he come back because, quote, we've got a good team. We got a good team. We got a good team. Well, good is not a great team. Yeah, sure. Every team that's desperate enough to unretire a guy pushing 40 calls himself a good team. Let's not pretend that this is the same Philadelphia Eagles squad that once squared people last season. The defense is slow. The secondary is getting cooked. And that pass rush, flat out done. Jalen Hurts is out here trying to play hero ball every week because the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. And now they're telling the answer is Brandon Graham? This is like trying to fix a busted engine with duct tape and prayers. And don't let Philly fans fool you. They're nervous. They see what's happening. They know that this team window is closing fast. While teams like the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers are reloading and getting stronger and stronger and stronger, the Eagles are out here digging out to the retirement home. Meanwhile, in Dallas, Overshown is coming back. That's right. He's coming back to wreck backfields. In Philly, they're just hoping that Grandpa Graham can make it through warm-ups without cramping up. Hey, but I'll give credit where credit is due. Brandon Graham is a Philly legend. He's got the record for the most games played. 76.5 sacks. One-time Pro Bowl, one ring. He's done his thing. But the key word there is done. He's done his thing. Football's a young man's game. And right now, this feels like a comeback and more of like an active depression from a team trying to hang on to his past glory. Guys, let me call it like it is. The Philadelphia Eagles are scrambling. They've been exposed this season. This defense is old. This offense is inconsistent. And the locker room doesn't have the same fire that it once did. Bringing back Brandon Graham doesn't fix all that. It just proves it. The Eagles aren't contenders. They are pretenders, trying to recuperate lightning in a bottle. And spoiler alert, lightning doesn't strike twice, especially when you've been retired for almost a year. But man, our nation, I got the question for you. Do you think Brandon Graham can actually make a difference for the Philadelphia Eagles, or is this another desperate move from a team that's falling apart? Guys, drop your thoughts in the chat. This is a live interactive show, and I want to hear from you. Subscribe, hit the like button, and remember, we are live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Slamming Shaman Joe says, I agree that the Cowboys have a great offense. That doesn't win championships, though. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. So he can get another ring, says Wes. With all that illegal game tampering, he read the script, babe. Hey, get out of here. Get out of here. But guys, we've rattled on long enough. We've rattled on for almost 90 minutes, and we are about to get to the best segment of the day. A little thing we like to call fact or crap. Sounds about right. Get out of here, old man River. Let me scroll down. There we go. All right, guys, so it is time for us to wrap up the show. But the show's not quite done yet. It's time for our favorite closer, a little thing we like to call fact or crap. And here's how it works. I'll throw out some so-called facts make around the NFL world, and together it's trying just to figure out, are they the real deal, or is it nothing but garbage? We're cutting through the noise, breaking down the hype, and deciding which is worth buying to. If it's a fact, we calling it out. If it's crap, we're going to bury it. So guys, buckle up, grab your snacks, and lock in, because it's time to get real. It's time for a fact, or it's a whole lot of crap. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so the first fact or crap of the day. Fact or crap. Aaron Rodgers versus the Green Bay Packers is a revenge game. All righty, folks. Welcome back to another round of fact or crap where we separate the NFL truth from total nonsense. And tonight's question is simple. Fact or crap? Aaron Rodgers with the Green Bay Packers is a revenge game. Let's talk about it. Guys, Aaron Rodgers came out this week and said it himself. It's not a revenge game. He said it over and over and over again. Enough times that I think if he said it one more time, we might believe that it's actually not a revenge game. He said it doesn't have any animosity toward the Green Bay Packers organization. That's just excited to him to play again. And look, that's what he has to say publicly. He's trying to keep it classy. He's trying to keep it professional. He's trying to keep it PG. But let's just be real. This man spent 18 years in Green Bay. He was drafted by them in 2005 or 2005. He sat behind Brett Favre, became a starter in 2008, and from that moment on, he just didn't play quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. He became the Green Bay Packers. Super Bowl, 4-time MVP, countless iconic throws, and more wins than just about any quarterback in franchise history. So don't tell me that this isn't personal. You can call it just another game all you want, but deep down, this means something to Aaron Rodgers. All right, let's flash back to week one. Week one, you wouldn't believe this. You wouldn't believe this if I told you. But Aaron Rodgers faced his old team in the New York Football Jets, and he absolutely torched them. 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and most importantly, a 34-32 win over the New York Football Jets. He didn't just beat them, he destroyed them up and down the field. That's classic Aaron Rodgers. Precise, ruthless, and in complete command of the game. And now he's got a chance to do something that only 4 other NFL legends in NFL history have done before. Beat all 32 NFL teams. That's Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Brett Favre, and now potentially Aaron Rodgers. That's Mount Rushmore territory, folks. You just don't stumble into that club. You earn it through years of greatness, consistency, and domination. Guys, let's just be clear. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback in Green Bay Packers history. Better than Brett Favre, better than Bart Starr. Yes, I said it. The greatest quarterback in Green Bay Packers history. He changed the way the position was played in Green Bay. Pure efficiency, elite accuracy, and football IQ off the charts. He made every receivers look like all pros. He turned Lambeau Field into highlight reel factory nearly for 2 decades. And when he lines up against the green and gold helmets on this Sunday night, don't think for a second he's not thinking about all those years, all those memories, and all those people he said he had time has passed. Sure, Aaron Rodgers told reporters, I have love for the organization. This isn't a revenge game for me. And maybe he believes it out on the surface. But come on, man. You spent nearly 20 years somewhere. You got shown the door, next guy, and they wanted to remind you who you are. Jordan Love might be playing well, but Aaron Rodgers wants the world, especially that front office, to know I'm still that guy. You can see it in how he's playing this year in Pittsburgh. Confident, sharp, fully in control of the huddle. The Steelers have embraced him, and he's brought that same cool, calculated swagger that made him a legend in Green Bay. So, guys, fact or crap? I am calling this one fact. 100% fact. Aaron Rodgers may say it's not a revenge game, but it absolutely feels like one. This is personal pride. This is legacy. It's about cementing your name among the greatest to ever do it and proving that no matter what uniform he is wearing, he's still one of the best quarterbacks on the planet. Aaron Rodgers has always been driven by competition. And when the ball snapped on Sunday Night Football, you can bet your bottom dollar he's out there making a statement. Just not another great quarterback, a once-in-a-generational talent. Start to put the GOAT and Aaron Rodgers' name together. But guys, fact or crap? Is Aaron Rodgers versus the Green Bay Packers truly a revenge game, or is he just as chill as it says it is? Drop your takes down below, guys. This is a live interactive show. I want to hear your thoughts. Old Man River says, 100% facts. Hashtag fact, baby. I agree. Maxman says crap. He's already said today he will sign a one-day contract to sign with the Green Bay Packers and retire with them. Okay. You can say that all you want. But you know damn well he wants to be linked up with Tom Brady, with Drew Brees, with Peyton Manning as the greatest to ever do it, to beat all 32 NFL teams. You know he wants to do that. So Maximus, I respect your crap. But politely, you are wrong. We all do respect you are wrong. You can sign with the organization for one day and retire with them. Cool, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But I want to whoop that ass, baby. Fellow Mike says, Aaron Rodgers pulls up those depends. Rodgers got butthurt when he got dumped for a younger quarterback. I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, whether you're dating somebody, whether you're married, whether you're just in a talking phase, if you get rejected, it hurts. In life in general, it hurts when you get rejected. It hurts when you get proven wrong. It hurts when you do this. It just hurts. And every time I see that person, I want to let them know that I'm doing better without them. I still got love for you, baby. If I were ever to get a divorce, not saying I ever will, but let's just say it. When I was dating a girl, I dated a girl for a very, very long time. We were together for like 8 or 9 years, right? We were together for a long time. We have history. But fuck that girl. But I still got love for you. But I'm going to show you that I'm doing better than you every chance I can get. And that's what Old Man River says. It's personal for me, baby. It's personal. 100% it's personal.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
There's that splurging sound again. Mellow Mike says, Jets? The winless Jets? That's a race to see how far a coach can get fired? Fields doomed their season. We talked about Justin Fields last night. But Mellow Mike wants to come out. Brett Favre is better than Aaron Rodgers. No. Brett Favre had his moments. I will give you that. Brett Favre had his ups and downs. Brett Favre used to be one of the best quarterbacks in Green Bay. But guys, Aaron Rodgers does not get enough credit of how good he is. When we talk about quarterback GOATs, obviously we're going to talk about Tom Brady. We're going to talk about Joe Montana. We're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes. A name that needs to be entered in that conversation a hell of a lot more is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time. Not Tom Brady, not Patrick Mahomes, not Joe Montana. Now Patrick Mahomes has an opportunity to do what Aaron Rodgers does. Yes, 100%. But right now, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback of all time. Maximus says Rodgers is top 10, maybe even top 5 quarterback of all time, let alone the best Packers quarterback. No law of loss for Aaron Rodgers, huh, Maximus? Well, Mike says Buck is talking about his hand. They broke up and got back together. I agree. I miss you, fella. I miss Lucy a little bit. I missed her a lot. But guys, that is going to be it for today's show. We rambled off long enough. We're going to skip the last 2 facts or craps. But if you are a pigskin pundit, we'll give you the next 2 facts or craps. We're going to talk about Jaxson Dart. We're talking a little about Joe Flacco. And what is the last one? The Tennessee Titans. L'Jarius Sneed. They broke up. It is what it is. But until then, guys, we out.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man, our NFL talk. I know that you ready for more. They on the field, ready for war. Who's in the lead? I'm checking the score. We about to do it like never before. NFL live, uncut, raw. This is Man Hour NFL talk. Let's go.